Yo, what's good, everybody? What's up? Hi, mom. How you doing? How's everybody doing, man? How's everybody doing? What's up, man? How is everybody doing today? Happy Tuesday, y'all. Welcome in, man. Welcome in. Anybody joining in? Welcome. How y'all doing? Man? How's everybody? Man? How's everybody? Man, I hope everybody's doing great. I hope everybody's spirits are high, mental's good, health good, everything good. So quickly, I want to tell y'all a little story. Of how much of a fucking idiot I am, right? So Saturday night, our friend Ava had stayed with us, right? So we go out. First, we go to a karaoke bar. Our friend, it's his spot. If anybody's ever watched How I Met Your Mother, their bar is McLaren's Pub. That's his McLaren's Pub. So we're over there having a good time. I'll be honest with you, yo. At that point, I was already tired. Right? At that point, I was already tired. They've been doing karaoke. We're singing along. I did not go up on stage, by the way. Benny had done like 3 songs, killing. He's just killing shit. He's killing everything. Everybody. And by the way, that karaoke bar, it's like a top tier karaoke bar, right? Everybody got their songs dialed in to their voice, the type of music that they did, like that they liked and enjoyed. Everything was just spot on, right? Everything was spot on. It was a lot of fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie. But they wanted to continue the night, right? So we go to a club, and I've realized about myself, right? I don't like being outside. At this point in my life, especially, I just don't like being outside anymore like that, right? I just don't. Everybody with these big ass crowds, everybody's all up on each other. But we go outside, right? We go to the LGBTQ part of town in Dallas, right? And it's because we're here with our friend Ava. She's trying to have a good time, and so we check out. We wanted to go to a club that had no entrance fee, which I was all up for. Wasn't trying to pay to get inside, right? We went to like 3 different ones. One of them had nobody in there, but I was down for because I could sit and I could just chill and we could just hang out. The other one seemed alright, but it had a entrance fee, and so we went to the best, most poppin' looking place that had no entrance fee. The only problem was there was nowhere for me to sit and stand. And my friends brought it to my attention. It probably wouldn't have been the best thing for me to sit and stand by myself there, because a couple of the fellas would have definitely came over and said, "How you doing?" But everybody's dancing. I'm not moving a fucking muscle damn near. I was ready to go home. The music was just not vibing. I'm over here watching the fucking TV. All I'm seeing is the countdown to how long until the club is closing. But the one thing that I did really enjoy going out was people watching. It was people watching. I love to people watch. And just to be in that mix and seeing everybody in their element, doing their shit, right, doing their thing. It because like I said, because we're inside all the time, right? You want to go there? You want to go to the gay club? But everyone was just in there having a good time. I didn't want to be the one to be like the Debbie Downer. But I really was just observing. I wouldn't have. I don't want to dance unless it's in the comfort of my own home. I'm at that point right now. I'm not going out dancing unless I'm home. That's what I would prefer. That's what I would prefer, 100%. But we had a good time. I was people watching. There was a group right beside us, right? There was a group right beside us. They were just dancing and doing their shit. They knew every word to the songs, and I'm like, how the fuck do y'all dance to this? And then I realized you don't. You just sing along to this shit if you know the song. And so it taught me I learned a real valuable lesson, right? I learned a real valuable lesson. And that is, one, I really am 30. I realized like I really am at that point, right? I'm not trying to be outside. But two, just seeing everybody in their element was super cool. But yeah, there's a reason I don't really go out like that no more. There's a reason why. There is, like I said, there's a reason why. Now, let me see. I'm trying to cue this up. Let's see.
I'm specifically speaking to us and about who we are and how do you maintain the sense of self while pushing it forward and holding us to have a responsibility for our actions. Mm-hmm. Because in America, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. And there's the solution for us. If we had a power base together, it would have much different conversation than me having a conversation by myself and trying to change America by myself. Mm-hmm. If I come with 40 million people, mm-hmm. it's a different conversation, mm-hmm. right?
And that's what we're here, man. It's a different conversation. We are here to have a conversation. So to the first time listeners, last time listeners, whoever, welcome in, man. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. Hey, man, before we go further, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really helps the channel out. But welcome. Yes. Yeah. We got a lot to talk about today, y'all. We got a lot to talk about today, y'all. We got a lot to talk about, man. Welcome to another episode of the Jayson Estrera Show, where we talk about basketball, sports, and any topic that comes our way as accurate as possible. Yeah. Now, like we heard from that little Jay-Z quote, right? You gotta have a support system in order to move certain conversations forward, right? And in a lot of ways, right, when it comes to sports, some of these things get pushed by the side, right? And it takes big stories to kind of bring some of these things that otherwise wouldn't be known to light, right? So let's listen into this right here.
I wanted to help my alma mater and benefit the community. Southern Miss introduced me to the nonprofit to see if they could help with the funding. I had no way of knowing that there was anything wrong with how the state funded the project, especially since it was publicly approved by many state agencies and multiple attorneys, including the Attorney
Dog,
With Chevy
you're killing
Equinox
me.
EV, you and your money can go further than America's most.
General. Sadly, I also lost an investment in a company that I believed was developing a breakthrough concussion drug I thought would help others. And I'm sure you'll understand why it's too late for me, because I've recently been diagnosed with Parkinson's. This is also a cause dear to my heart. Recently, the doctor running the company pleaded guilty to taking TANF money for his own use. I believe that I got swept up in a civil lawsuit at the instigation of State Auditor Shad White, an ambitious public official who decided to tarnish my reputation to try to advance his own political career. Even after he applauded me for returning the funds and said there was no evidence that I knew TANF funds were involved.
And
I wanted to.
that's, that was from a little snippet from Brett Favre speaking in front of Congress. If you guys don't know, he was a part of, is it TANF? I believe is the name of it, right? And allegedly, they were using this organization in Mississippi, in which $77 million were funneled away from a program for the needy into ventures that were related to Brett Favre's interest, including $1.1 million that were sent directly to him for supposedly doing a appearance which he never appeared at. And here we are, right? And I wanted to share that little quote earlier because I think we're in this time where a lot of the things that these powerful people were doing in the dark are now coming to the light. And Brett Favre, who, as far as I can remember, the narrative on Brett Favre has always been he's a phenomenal football player. But as a person, he's a piece of shit. And as a sports fan, right, as a part of that group that's idolized athletes for most of my life, right, to get hit in the face time and again by the fact that these heroes that we've had growing up are assholes, I think it's a tough pill to swallow for some people. And I think that we as viewers need to start doing a better job of separating the two things. Right? I think there's a lot of times where we let our personal emotions get entangled with all of the sports stuff. I could like you as an athlete, not like you as a human being. Or I could like you as a human being, not really like you as an athlete. It's possible. Because it seems like every single day, I mean, the Diddy thing is happening. I've said it before. If Jay-Z is a part of any of this shit, it will be the saddest day for me. Y'all understand me right now? If Jay-Z is a part of that in some way, shape, or form, the day I delete his music from my phone will be an extremely sad day. But that's the reality that we're in right now, right? The days where there's this cover between us, the civilians, and these celebrities and these powerful men and women, that line is getting blurred now. And I think that we have to do a better job of, like I said, disassociating from these personalities, because that's all they are. They are characters in this story that we watch on a day-to-day, nothing more than that. And we can get into some of their personal stuff, but at the end of the day, right, to expect them to be these heroes or these great human beings beyond the court, I think we've seen enough athletes and celebrities and powerful people in our time to understand what's really going on, right? And I guess so can we separate the art from artists? Should we, and why? Yeah, absolutely, right? Like, someone can create great art and be a piece of shit person. Someone can be a piece of, a great person and not make great art. And here's the other part, right? Because I saw Gil and that crew talking about this the other day. Athletes are the top 1%, 0.1% or whatever, 0.01%. They're the tippy top of the iceberg. Which means they're different from all of us in the way that they think, the way that they approach things, their viewpoints on things. It's different. Especially for those guys, everything is a competition. And as we've seen, a part of the competition is maintaining this image, this bravado, machismo. Because here's the thing too, right? And maybe this is where we have a hand in it as fans and as media. We would make fun of an athlete if they had an apartment complex, or if they had a little we would make fun of them. Oh, you don't have this $500,000 million mansion. You don't have the fly ass cars. People make fun of that person. That's not cool. That's not sexy. That you can't sell that athlete. It's boring. And so you get guys who have to try to maintain that image. This brings me back to Glenn Davis with the medical scam in the NBA. For those of you that don't know, he was, filing medical procedures that wasn't actually getting done, and he was getting money out of it. And I realized in reading on it that he filed one of them in 2018. His last year in the NBA was 2015. So there's a 3-year gap, which means, at least for me, that he wasn't able to scale his life back because he had this image that he had to promote. Adrian Peterson, we just saw him, took money out for a birthday party. Who the fuck takes a loan out for a birthday party? But this is the reality that exists in this world. And I'll be honest with y'all, man. Day in and day out, we hear some horror story about some billionaire or millionaire that did this or that, and now we're in trouble. We've heard all week CEOs resigning from their spots because of this Diddy situation. Adrian Peterson the other day, Brett Favre today. The names and the issues go on and on. It's getting to the point where if that's the price that you and I would have to pay to be a millionaire, a multi-millionaire, a billionaire, is it even worth it, y'all? Is it even worth it? To see the type of human beings that these people gotta become to reach that level of wealth, it don't seem worth it. And it's unfortunate because we live in a society that fantasizes that lifestyle, right? But like I said, we see examples day in and day out that kind of says, brother, like, the fuck is that? And it's unfortunate because there are real people out there with this Brett Favre situation that needed that money and have not received that money. And we're over here, and he's over here talking about, I got X, Y, and Z that I got to deal with. And it's just like, it's just one of those, man. Now, speaking of a shift, right? Because we have obviously seen a shift in the WNBA, and accountability is the word that comes to mind, right? So let's look at this conversation that happened on First Take, and let's see what happens.
Directly at you, because I'll
no, not me.
I'll come to your defense about that. But let me also make this a point. You're not entirely accurate with what you just said. Because guess what? Whether it was Shannon, whether it was myself, we didn't paint a picture of the entire league. What we said was there was noise out there emanating from some. And those folks were very, very loud and conspicuous with their dissent towards things involving Caitlin Clark. When we pointed that out, we said why. What was the necessity for it? Because a rising tide lifts all boats. This woman is box office. Plus, she can play. And the combination of the two would ultimately give all of those wonderful ladies for the wonderful work that they had done over so many years. It would have been validated, even though it came through the conduit was her. Ultimately, it stood to benefit the collective whole.
Yep.
And rather than some out there accepting and embracing that, they resented it, and they tried to use the contributions of others who came before Caitlin Clark to.
Oh, why did this just pop up? No, what the fuck? No. No, I don't want this to open right now. All right, bet. All right, so I think it was just playing for too long. Now, I say accountability, right? Because the way this conversation throughout this entire season has played out, and I'll just be upfront with it in this, right? Because I think it's important that we have these conversations because we can all learn from it, including myself, right? But from my point of view, this is how the conversation has been from a lot of these women on ESPN, or from some of these women on ESPN. It's, oh, who is talking shit about Caitlin Clark? Who's resenting her? And then they pull up an example, and then they say, well, that's just one person saying it. And then you got Stephen A and Shannon Sharp that says, no, we didn't say that the whole league is saying it, but this person has this to say. And is it that far of a stretch to say that other people might feel the same way? Is this duck goose game that we seem to be playing around this topic that's annoying, to be honest. Because their rebuttal has constantly been, oh, well, that's not everyone. No shit, it's not everyone. But we're talking about the people that do have something negative to say and the people that have targeted and have been physical with Caitlin Clark. Because let's call a spade, right? Ever since she's started balling out post-Olympic break, everyone has made a complete 180 in their tune on Caitlin Clark. All of a sudden, oh, she's great, she's wonderful, she's amazing. She could have made the team. No. She could have made the team before that post-Olympic break eruption that she went on. That's what Shannon goes off on. She was good enough before the Olympic break. But here's the thing. Everyone wants to move the goalpost. I watched Cheryl Swoops say that Caitlin Clark is not dominant. And that Angel Reese is not dominant. And listen, I'm no professional, right? But since when was it not dominant for a player to lead a category? Since when we said someone is being dominant, that they're the most dominant, that why are we pretending like there isn't a range of shit? There isn't a spectrum. And the lack of accountability from some of these people that have spoken about Caitlin Clark in a way, that's the problem. Rather than relating on a human level to say, I've spoken about it before, but I remember when I used to work at Fossil as a cashier, right? Fifth Avenue in New York. We were making, it was like $8, $7 and change, right? And I had been there for like a couple months. And some new hires had come in, right? And those new hires had a pay bump because of the new laws in New York. That, call it 30-cent difference between our hourly rate was enough for my coworkers and I to look at all of these new people and say, why the fuck do you deserve that? Regardless of whether they deserved it or not, or how good they were, or how competent they were. It didn't matter. So, yeah, I could understand to an extent how some of these women in the WNBA might feel towards Caitlin Clark. They've worked so hard to get to this point, and to say to give somebody else the credit for it has got to suck. But then again, that's a part of what you signed up for. The idea of life, honestly, because we've heard this all before, right? You leave the world a better place than you found it. That goes for anything. in all of these sports, we've seen it with Shaq going at Rudy Gobert for his contract. You will never, all that hard work that these athletes have put in to push their sport forward. Here's the reality, and I guess this was a newsflash. Y'all will never reap the benefits of your own hard work. Not to the extent of these other people who just don't even know the history, don't know. They just showed up. Here's $400 million. But that's not their fault because they were born at a certain time. Like, but that's where this is kind of turned into. And the way that some of these analysts pretend like, oh, you're just making this shit up. Meanwhile, we're pulling up quotes and tweets and like, don't piss on me and tell me it's raining. Don't do that. You could do a lot of things. Don't piss on me and tell me it's raining. That's not okay. We're having conversations about real quotes. But some folks just want to pretend like they didn't happen. Where they do that at? Like, where they do that at? Because I must not have known that that's how things are run. And now, I play devil's advocate, right? Because there are those in the media space that weaponize their platform, that weaponize their popularity, their fame, and their audience. And let's take a look at one example of that.
With one of these women with these long fake fingernails that stabbed her in the eye. Do you think that had any impact on the game? Do you think that your meal ticket should be stabbed in the eye intentionally on the court 2 minutes into the game and there's no problem here? It's not worthy of discussion? I read this ESPN story. Alyssa Thomas had a triple-double and so-and-so scored X number of points and the Connecticut Sun knock off the Fever. And I'm reading the story, I'm like, where's the mention of the fact that the Michael Jordan of the WNBA was assaulted, has a black eye during the second half of the game because Dejanay Carrington stabbed her with her fingernails in the eye. I believe it's...
Now, I'm not going to go on to continue to highlight this piece of shit right here, because he goes on to say a lot more and, calls these women out of their names and just... It's people like him, right, that are a problem. And ESPN, this is y'all fault. Y'all gave this man his platform. Y'all put the battery in his back. And now he feels like he got the juice. And the way that he goes at these women, 1 second he's shitting on Caitlyn. The next he's shitting on... He can never pick a side. I mean... How is this person allowed to have a platform speaking the way that he does? With no, he don't add value, he don't add perspective, he don't do none of that shit. He just be talking. And this is the fight that we're in. Because there's people in the media space like that, we got to move these motherfuckers out the way. We got to do some spring cleaning, cuz we can't have people like this in the space. That's nuts. That's nuts that we got people like him in this space. Man. I get you. But he was calling but listen. Sports are sports, right? We can't prove or disprove whether she did it intentionally or not, right? And I think Caitlin Clark is tougher than that. But for Jason Whitlock, that motherfucker started calling people ghetto. He started going at people's sexuality. Fuck Jason Whitlock. He don't add shit to nothing. That's the part. It's one thing if you think that Dejanay Carrington did that shit on purpose or not. That's one thing, right? And I don't even agree with that. Caitlin Clark don't even have a problem with the play. And she's complained about a lot of shit this year. So for Jason Whitlock to get on his platform and speak the way that he does, man, fuck that guy. he can go take him and his opinions and go fuck himself, man. Like, what are we doing, dog? And like I said, ESPN, this is on y'all. You guys let people like him get a platform. Y'all put a battery in his back to go and think he that dude, man. That's on y'all. That's on y'all. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But let us look forward to the two games that we have coming up tonight. So we have the New York Liberty taking on the Atlanta Dream. And the Las Vegas Aces taking on the Seattle Storm. So the way that the game had gone the other day between the Liberty and the Atlanta Dream, I am fully expecting for New York, shout out New York, to move on to the next round after tonight. I think they've been on such a roll. They've been dominant all year long. Everything is just clicking. Everything is clicking. There were games towards the end of the season where, they could have let their feet off the gas and they just kept on going along, right? Now, I think the more interesting matchup is the Aces versus the Storm. And I say that because with A'ja Wilson winning the MVP and obviously the Aces looking for their three-peat, there's a lot on the line for this team, right? It's a lot more than just wins and losses and going for a championship. We are talking about legacy now. We are talking about history. It's going to be similar to that Warriors team that went 73-9 and not winning a championship. People are going to try to take a little bit away from A'ja Wilson if they don't go far enough and compete for a championship. It's just how it's going to work out. So that makes tonight's game extremely, extremely important. Now, A'ja Wilson had a really slow start on Sunday. I'm expecting her to come out firing. And they're going to need a good game out of Kelsey Plum. Because if it wasn't for some incredible shot by Chelsea Gray, or Tiffany Hayes, we could be having a totally different conversation about this right now. So they're going to need Kelsey Plum to step up and hit some shots to be able to spread the floor to support Asia, because I think Asia is going to do what she does. Will her supporting cast pull through? They did in game one. For a lot of this year, it's been very game to game. And I felt like that was a part of why she didn't play at the end of the season. Granted, she had injuries. But I thought a part of it was to try to get the ball rolling for the rest of that squad. And obviously, it's a shorter postseason than we're used to in the NBA. Your margin of error is a lot smaller, and they're gonna get put to the test tonight. I have the New York Liberty winning. Who wins tonight? The Aces or the Storm? I want to say Seattle wins, man. I have this feeling that Seattle wins tonight. But at the same time, let's see. Let's look at the game chart. Wait, they had 2 in the fourth quarter. All right, Aces win tonight. Aces win tonight. Liberty win tonight. Aces win tonight. They take care of business, and they set up their WNBA Finals rematch from last year in the next round. You can book it. So I think both the Aces and the Liberty will win tonight. Now, the NBA is right around the corner. And with that, we finally have some sound bites from some of these players. So let's take a look at what Jaylen Brown had to say about his team this upcoming year.
To lead also sometimes means that sacrifice where, in a night we playing, don't mean to disrespect them, but the Detroit Pistons, who have struggled over the last year or two, we're going to play through Peyton, let him go for 30. And play through Sam, let him shoot 10 threes tonight. We're going to still win the game. It don't have to be the normal way, but that gives those guys confidence. That gives those guys ability to run free. And we're going to need that down the line. Find a different way.
So, Jaylen Brown talking very confidently. Now, we've spoken about this before. Delusional confidence. Yeah, like in video games when you get like the takeover mode, and you just start doing crazy shit. I remember like in NBA Street Volume 2 back in the day, right? When you hit takeover mode, you could just fucking do anything. You could shoot that shit full court. It didn't matter, right? That's what delusional confidence. That's the effect that delusional confidence can have. Now, this whole team is exhibiting that because their two main guys are all about it. Now, Jaylen Brown is talking about something very crucial here, right? And if you watch them in the playoffs last year, it's exactly what they were doing in the first round against the Miami Heat. They were featuring Derek White in that Miami Heat series. And a part of it was just reps, but two, just to build his confidence, because they understood that Derek White would be a key part of their success as the playoffs went on. These guys are playing with the expectation of making it deep in the playoffs, and they are acting like champions. You could say Jaylen Brown got the baby face because he shaved the beard or whatever, but he's a veteran and he's been here before. And I like JT. Y'all gonna say we had an easy road, so we'll have to do it again next year. Facts. Here's the thing too, right? With delusional confidence, these guys are probably gonna try some crazy shit in the first couple games. The problem is if the stuff starts working. You ever seen a kid that's really good get really high and just start trying some crazy shit, and then you look up and you guys are down 25? Yeah. It happens in the NBA. So expectations are going to be through the roof for this team. A lot of folks are going to be choosing them to win the championship. So, a year where they're expected to win, how will they handle that? Now, last year, obviously, there were folks that thought that they would win because they had a good team or whatnot. I also heard a lot of people saying the Denver Nuggets would win the championship last year. And when the finals came around, a lot of people were saying Mavericks. So, how will the Celtics react? Because the narrative is going to shift. Can they repeat? People are going to be choosing them to win the championship this year now. How will they be with not only the target on their back, but with people saying that they are the best? Because up until this point, they've been the underdog. They've been trying to prove everybody wrong. How is it going to feel sitting on the other side of the table for them? Can they maintain that hunger, that drive, while also being confident and, like I said, acting like they've been there before? And so, Jaylen Brown has obviously dropped a song with Ferg over the summer. He was with, WNBA player. He been out. He been out in these streets this summer. So now it's time to lock in. Obviously, we're expecting a lot of big things out of Jayson Tatum. So moving forward, can the Boston Celtics answer the call? I think they can. Obviously, I'm a Knicks fan and I'm rooting for my New York Knicks, but I've watched this before. I've seen this story before. And from the looks of it, the Boston Celtics seem to be at the beginning of their run. Are they going to fulfill that destiny, or is it going to crash and burn? Only time will tell. Now, if you enjoyed this today, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. It really helps the channel out. I really appreciate y'all, man. We tried something new today, doing something a little bit different, on our path to be a competitive person in this space. We're going to be trying a bunch of things. So thank y'all for bearing with me. I really appreciate y'all, man. Y'all don't understand how much your comments, Elijah, your likes, just the views, it means so much to me. I thank y'all so much. Y'all could have been anywhere, and I literally mean this, anywhere on the internet, but y'all were here with me. So I really appreciate y'all. I love y'all, man. I will see y'all later. Thank you. It's unrealistic to expect a long run from them. Amen. Just wait to see, yo. Let's wait and see. But I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Peace. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Y'all are the best. I appreciate y'all so much. I'll see y'all later, man. Peace. I lied today, talking heavy. What does that even mean? What does that even mean, dog? But like I said, man, that's gonna do it for me for now. I'll see y'all later. Peace out. Y'all have a great day, you beautiful people, man. I'll see y'all later. Peace.